Now we're in Sderot. I'm deciding to lay down now because it is not a lot of time to really run to a shelter here. We're too close to the Gaza border, so I'm lying on the ground. This is why we're wearing protective gear. You could hear maybe the interception already. It is recommended to stay on the floor. Going on in different parts of the Gaza Strip. You mentioned the north. This is what we're looking at right now. Behind me, there is one large cloud of smoke arising from the areas of Bet Hanun and Bet Lahia. I'm speaking to you from a shelter here. We are less than 2 kilometers away from the Lebanese border here. We were told that there is an ongoing security incident. We have been hearing some what seem to be explosions. I just had a peek outside and saw smoke arising from the mountain range very close to us that basically separates Israel from Lebanon. What you can see behind me is southern Lebanon. We're at one of the closest locations that are still somewhat accessible to the Lebanese border, as this region here in northern Israel has been widely closed off. And as you can see, the army has put up those meter-high concrete walls here to shut up the area, to protect this area from both mortar shells and anti-tank missiles. We have seen that the Turkish aid organizations have set up some tents and they're distributing some food, but still there are many who have nowhere to go. We have just spoken to a Syrian family here. They told us we fled from a war. Now we find ourselves in another catastrophe. We are here in the city of Marash, in the south of Turkey, just north from Gaziantep. And as you can see, we're in the middle of buildings that have collapsed. Basically, the main street in the city of Marash, buildings left and right have collapsed. There are only a few of them standing here. Some buildings have completely collapsed. Some are still halfway standing and are in danger to collapse as well. Now, search and rescue operations are going on as we are speaking, and they will go on also throughout the night, although it is freezing cold. Now, as you can see, there are bulldozers, there are heavy machinery, and people are still hoping to find others who are buried under the rubble. Many people are still being missed, and there is still some hope that even after almost 3 days after this heavy earthquake here struck the region, people remained alive under the rubble.
The protesters here do not buy into Benjamin Netanyahu saying that he is still open to compromise, that politicians will still kind of compromise. Protesters have really come here to Kaplan Road in 10,000s this evening. As you can see, they started to light up fires here all across the street. One fire after another.
Employers have often gotten used to asking.
Well, I guess what you're talking about is setting work-life boundaries and having a healthy work-life balance. And I guess everyone would define that differently. But quiet quitting is something that you can define pretty well. It means exactly that you only put the minimum effort in your job. You only stick within what's written in your job description. Looking for answers. First stop, Haifa, northern Israel. For the first time, we saw that an Arab party, Ram, entered a coalition. What influence do you think this experience had? Behind each number, a story like that of Buran Salim, a mother from the northern city of Acre. Her son Ahmad was shot dead the 6th of May, a Saturday evening, underneath their house when he was on the way to the gym. Since then, she's trying to grasp that her family is shattered. U.S. President Joe Biden's visit to the region is anticipated and closely watched by many, Israelis and Palestinians. But the expectations are different. Well, for Israel, the visit is more about regional cooperation and energy supply. For Palestinians from East Jerusalem and the West Bank, it is more about economic aid and bringing their costs back to the table.
To Hawara, where our correspondent Pia Steckelbach joins us. Pia, how is it looking this morning? What are you hearing from residents in Hawara?
Well, Ariel, you can definitely still see some remnants from yesterday night's rampage of those 400 Israeli settlers who not only raided here in the town of Hawara, but also in the surrounding villages. Schnabel says he doesn't report many of these incidents to the police anymore, as he was often told that surveillance cameras were broken and the perpetrators couldn't be identified when he filed a complaint. He senses a lack of motivation to investigate crimes from the extremist Jewish community. Pilgrimage in Mecca every year, so people all over the world go to mosque and pray today. It is also customary to fast today on this Friday before Eid al-Adha, because it is believed that God forgives the sins for the past year and for the coming year. Now, of course, we're here in East Jerusalem, where the third holiest site in Islam is located, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Indeed, Israeli Independence Day this year has officially begun, and here we are in the middle of Tel Aviv. We are in the We are in the middle of Tel Aviv. Crazy things like these can happen.
I see that. I see already.
It's a city that never stops. And people are deprived of celebrations, especially on Independence Day. As you mentioned it, 2 years, no celebrations. And we see a lot of young people.
And that's it with this week's edition of Beyond the Headlines. Join us again next episode for more stories in and out of the Holy Land here on I24 News. Until then, my name is Pia Steckelbach. Thank you for watching and take care.